when they play as a complete unit. And so when they get underway, game number one, NRG and Lowkey Esports. Starts off the back corner, Card can't get back to it. Will be continued downfield by Justin. Nothing just yet. Kaio looking for Card down the pitch. Gets the ball away from NRG there. Kaio couldn't find a touch, so Gary G will take control past midfield. One touch out over to Justin. Cleared away to the corner, but it's NRG's ball.
Yeah, already possession for NRG. Off the bat, they've got a lot of dominant, positioning. Just throwing themselves in the defensive end of Lowkey.
Yeah, midfield currently belongs to them. Gary G, another hit that comes for free off the backboard. Kaio got there in time to knock it away. He moves down the field quickly, and that's the one thing about Lowkey Esports on the offensive side of things. Another shot, maybe straight down. It's in for Kaio. Scores for Lowkey.
Kaio starts it off with a huge hit above the net, so high in the air. The fact that he got this angle and managed to hit it downwards, that's just a complete spike from the air.
So Lowkey Esports strike first in the first minute.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling after, the endorphins got to be high after that Veloce win. You're feeling real good about your play. How about Tander off the crossbar, saved by Justin. Card pops it off, another for Kaio, saved by Justin again.
Oh, it's still on though, Tander.
Almost has it, can't put it on target though. And NRG, Turbo will flip it over one, and they have some space now and some breathing room. Getting a bump, makes the net free for Justin, and it's a tie game.
Like you said, Jorby, the bump plays come out on the defensive side. You see Turbo, he takes the boost and then just hunts down Tander in net. He even decides to go out of the net itself. That's how he rotates. The aggression so strong so far for NRG, and they match it.
And it all started from that control from Turbo after the pressure from Lowkey Esports. Yeah. Was able to flip it over past midfield and generate a chance. That was all Turbo. And that's exactly what the desk was talking about and what NRG was talking about when they brought Turbo onto this team.
The missing element.
Giving them that piece to maybe finally get to the end of a world championship. Turbo. High up looking for Garrett. Garrett wins the ball cleanly in midfield. But no immediate follow-up from Justin. He's got to wait for Tander. Tander gets eliminated from play. Justin still couldn't get a hold of the ball. Card right in front, off the ceiling. Pop for Kaio. Card wanted a bump. Love the chance there for Lowkey Esports, but it's NRG's ball. The net's open. The demo onto Garrett saves the goal. Unbelievable effort from Lowkey.
And that was the only option that Kaio actually had. There was no way he would get himself in front of the ball. The last-ditch effort to go for a bump, and he keeps it with a tie game.
Turbo blocking two defenders. Card forced to make a save out to the corner. Card gets back to his touch again, very quick to the ball, but it will be slow getting back to it. Turbo looking for Justin, and it's blocked by Tander. Garrett forced back, a quick pass down the pitch for Lowkey Esports. Garrett G, another save. Justin couldn't handle the ball. The press from Lowkey Esports continues.
I am incredibly surprised right now how well matched Lowkey has done with the pace, and look at that shot from Card. Another option from Kaio. He hits it, and it's an open net for him.
Card sets all of this up. He's the anvil.
Wow.
Kaio, the hammer.
What an angle. And then the bump, the Tander. Oh my goodness.
Everything goes right.
Lowkey are here to play. NRG getting everything thrown at them.
2 minutes to go. Lowkey Esports here to dance. Card looking for Tander, long pass, it'll be broken up. And NRG, they've had a couple of solid opportunities, but it's been really heroic defense by Lowkey Esports.
And you think back to that demo play as well. There would have been this would be a tie game right now if we didn't see that last second demo play before Justin got the shot.
And Card again takes this one up high, gets
the
flip.
Card.
Oh, he buffs him out, but he can't score. The ball stays out of the net, no goal for Lowkey Esports.
What an effort, and he had the flip, he got the dunk, but the save came out.
Shot is good for Turbo. He sneaks it in, NRG not out of it.
A big response here. Garrett and Justin a little bit mixed up, but somehow they make it work, and Turbo finds space in the midfield for a shot. Kaio's out of net, and it's an open net for him.
Couple of chances for Lowkey Esports that they weren't able to capitalize on. The one from Tander earlier in the game, where the shot went wide, and I mean, the mechanical effort from Card on the last one. And they got killed on the transition. That's something that has hurt Lowkey Esports before. Card able to send this away. But right now for Lowkey Esports, it's not getting too antsy. Don't try to force anything. You're tied up right now with a minute left.
You can't get too desperate.
If there isn't a play, don't try to send the house. Tough enough already against one of the best teams in Rocket League. Kyle just trying to create some space for Lowkey Esports. Right now, both teams feeling each other out in these last 30 seconds. A couple of boomers back and forth. Nothing quite yet. Turbo on that challenge. It'll be Card's ball. Card high off the back wall. We'll find another touch. Low on boost, though, and it's headed the other way. Garrett G has that carry, but couldn't hang on to it. Cleared away again.
Lots of space right now. Like you said, really just feeling each other out. And the goalkeepers seem to be going deep in net, but now here's some great chances for Lowkey Esports, and they have been bringing it this entire game. They have not stopped with any of the pressure.
Justin up for this quickly. It's in front of the box. No one's back, and Justin will score with 9 seconds remaining. NRG have the lead.
I'm just surprised that Justin had the boost for this, the conservation, the way he was able to bounce off the ball, and 0 boost. Like I said, he saved his flip. That was so perfectly timed, and now they've got the edge.
NRG, it's been a battle for 5 minutes. They may come out on top in game number 1. Justin just keeping the ball away from Lowkey. They do get one more chance at it. Down the pitch, you see Tander. He can't get back to it. Garrett G hasn't beat, just has to kill the ball. Card ends up keeping it up, and that will do it. NRG taking a thrilling game 1.
Yeah, and Lowkey, like I said, this entire game, they have been strong. And I think, Jorby, the interesting thing about it is we really expected NRG to be a little bit slower this game. And I don't know if it's really Lowkey being slower themselves or who's matching each other. You know, I think it's really just both teams playing outstanding right now.
They both had really solid offensive opportunities multiple times, and even great defensive efforts by Lowkey Esports. This play right here.
I mean, I love to see it. The demo as well. Everybody is just out here. And like I said, the boost, I don't know how he managed to save it so much to get that flip. Zero boost in the tank. Garrett G just pops it up for him, and he pinched it. And he reacted. It's the response time.
And that's exactly what you want to see from Justin. And I love how NRG look right now as a squad. They're playing as a complete unit.
Yeah.
You don't see, Justin, he's not feeling desperate. And even when Lowkey, they were winning the game, and NRG really weren't able to
they were calm.
grab possession for the first half of the game, but they're stuck to their game plan and ended up winning after scoring the game-winning goal with 9 seconds left.
And it feels more consistent. Ever since Turbo really joined, I felt like the previous NRG roster, maybe we'd see them just completely dominate a team, and then it would be the opposite after that. Every other series, it was just a coin flip. And now with Turbo, I think it's really just a consistent grind all the way up to the top, and they're looking so dominant. Turbo, he came in, that first goal, the demo plays from him, just calming his teammates down. That is what they needed.
Yeah, and again, as good as Lowkey Esports looked, the transition game is what hurt them, what killed them on 2 of those goals for NRG. And it leads to panicky, to jumpy, acrobatic defense, and a lot of times that puts you in bad spots. And it also gives you some of the flash on defense that we saw from our South American boys earlier. That shot blocked by Garrett G.
Oh, now more space on the field. NRG just kind of walking around. Slower pace from Lowkey. Maybe they're trying to play a little bit more of a reserved route. Be a little bit more defensive.
They are trying to control right here with Justin. He wins one challenge out. Lowkey aren't trying to press too hard.
Yeah.
Control off the back wall. And a good follow-up touch as well. Kaio's already down the pitch. He does have Tander available, but just couldn't get it close enough to him. Tander plays the next touch, keeps it in front. Cleared away by NRG. A little bunched up in the corner. Gets it out.
Good dribbling.
Kyle on the point. Tander getting chipped on his way to the net. Blocked. Garrett G trying to carry this out. Now you see boomed back down the field again for NRG. Back to the blue half. Yeah, just a lot of space afforded to NRG right now. Turbo, light touch knocked away. Maybe trying to trap this ball and control it out. Lowkey Esports have tried it a couple of times already in the first minute or so. Another shot blocked by Tander.
Yeah, and we're starting to see 2 people in net from Lowkey.
Oh.
Even just there, create the opportunity for Turbo. Lowkey getting a little bit bunched up. Need to spread the field a bit more.
And they're forced to have to fight for their back boost. They do get this clear. Card the back pass out across, but it's an NRG car that's in the way. Oh, and Garrett hopping right on top of that. Justin immediately up for this as well. That touch will be right down for Tander from Kaio. Now Tander has the read off the ceiling, sit down, and knocked away by Justin. Card keeps it going.
Nice touch.
Looks in front, but read well and handled by Garrett G. Another shot blocked by Justin. The Lowkey Esports, the pressure's still there. The shots are still coming, but they just can't maintain possession. Well, Kaio wins this challenge. Tander's in front.
Bump.
He could not bump Turbo. He hopped over.
And you saw Turbo there cut the rotation a bit. I think he saw truly the bump come through and knew that he had to cut the rotation to get some form of a dodge so that there wouldn't be any contact.
Turbo knocks this one away. Tander just waiting for that next touch. Justin, more control. Turbo demoing the third man, but ball high will buy a little bit of time for Kaio to get back. NRG have done a good job controlling it. Oh, he sneaks it through. Turbo snipes it from midfield. First goal to NRG.
The awareness from Justin. He follows it up, perfectly passes it into Turbo. This is just a fundamental play from NRG. We see it so much. And the midfield space that Lowkey, they seem a little bit more respective of NRG. I think they're giving him too much space there to kind of walk around him.
Maybe worried about giving up the ball the couple of times they did in game one. Not wanting to give NRG that answering goal every time. But now they're down 1-0. Turbo misses some space. Shot. It's in for Kaio. He finds it. Lowkey tie it quickly.
And you find the offense as well, just trying to mess with Justin in the net. And look at Card. He's just trying to bump him, and he does actually make contact. I didn't know at first because the flip seemed a bit off. And Justin, he's just getting bombarded.
This has been very physical play from Lowkey Esports. Maybe something that they had talked about beforehand because we saw it a lot in game one. And now seeing it more in game two. Bumps keeping Lowkey Esports
another one
within a strike, and the miss. A Turbo. Nothing for Lowkey Esports. Card forced to get that ball out. He does over to Kaio. Oh, Kaio, he's easy back pass.
Bit risky.
No problem. And already Card's moving down the field. It's taken away by Justin. When Kaio's forced to pitch that ball up because he wasn't able to get that midfield boost.
You just see cycled plays right now from NRG. I really think they're trying to just find passes in the midfield, not be too aggressive. But so far, that's leading to a lot of open opportunities for Lowkey to really bump them.
You know, Lowkey, they haven't been able to get past midfield for the last 30 or so seconds. Turbo just forcing his way back to the opposite side of Lowkey territory. Tander slowing it down, but right in his face again was Garrett G. Justin chipping him on the way as well. Around the corner, Justin, can he set it up? No. Boomed away again by Lowkey. 40 seconds remaining, still tied up in game two. And out. Just these pot shots. That one from Kaio right into Justin. Another good challenge in midfield, but how do they continue? They can't win another ball. Card now with no boost will be forced to play this out. At least stalls Garrett G for a second, and he gets back to this.
Another one.
Has the read, but Turbo's right there as well. Oh, a demo opens up the net. Card covers the distance.
Oh, NRG could do it.
Time's running out.
Final 5.
Potential overtime. Miss from Kaio off the backboard.
There's space.
Another shot. It's blocked, but it's high in the air. Turbo keeps it close. Card wants it cleared out. Will it touch the ground? No. Garrett wants to play ball. Justin can't get back to it. We will have overtime.
A little bit of a slower paced matchup so far. The first game, both teams were really just throwing themselves in the midfield area, trying to be aggressive. And right now, I think it's definitely more reserved.
And NRG, they really are winning most of these midfield challenges.
Oh, there it is.
The shot's good off the pass from Garrett. Turbo strikes, and NRG have a 2-game lead.
And we've been waiting to see it. Garrett G almost, did he get bumped there as well from Lowkey? The hit up, might have just used his extra jump, but either way, he found Turbo, thread the needle. And they're gonna take the second game, Lowkey, they cannot find any momentum, even when they're playing so solid.
No, I mean, we saw a couple of opportunities on offense, but then pot shots. It felt like they were starting to get desperate because they weren't able to control midfield. Every time they'd get one pass out is, okay, now we have a challenge in midfield, and Turbo or Garrett were always right on top of them, and Justin was always ready for the follow-up. NRG, their continuing touches in the offensive half of the field, I think, has been the difference in this matchup so far.
And what I love about it is really just NRG and their clears. I think they're really trying to, locate each other instead of forcing. I think I've seen basically a theme throughout this entire tournament is a lot of teams who are more nervous will tend to just throw one person up to play the safe route, have two people back. But NRG, I feel like they have this weird play style where they can kind of find the middle ground of that. They can really hit these passes when they need to, and they can mold to whoever they're playing with. And NRG always seem to be able to really just justify their use of that.
And it felt like a complete flip for Lowkey Esports at the start of Game 2, where Game 1 they came out firing, and it was a press. Every single ball, we're going to challenge everything, and it was working for them. And then at the start of Game 2, they're like, we're going to sit back. And then they started waiting for touches, and NRG are not going to let you win the game like that. You're not going to win against NRG by waiting for them to touch the ball, because you're going to get scored on. And while they were able on the backboard and the back wall to handle things most of the time, they got whittled down. They lost the boost battle long term, and that's what caused that loss in the end.
And even though these games, Game 1 and Game 2, they've been so close, Lowkey have been just inches away from finding that winning goal. Even in that Game 2, we went to overtime, but here's a kickoff goal for Garrett G. NRG. They just start off strong.
One more win will give NRG the victory in this match, and they started off with a kickoff goal, like you said, Turtle. Turbo getting a clean win off the kickoff, and Lowkey Esports, they have to start climbing.
That's so rough
already.
Being down 0-2 in the series and then a kickoff goal right when you need to start building some kind of momentum. Lowkey, they've got to get themselves out of this mental drought.
And for Lowkey Esports, you're talking about a reverse sweep against NRG. And they can't crack through this corner right now. Card. He gets over two defenders, but Garrett G, the net's covered. Justin up again quickly. Again, the transition game for NRG is so strong. This one handled by Kaio, and Turbo comes back in midfield. Justin up again. Slight touch off the backboard, and it's knocked away. Lowkey back on offense. Still looking. Tander out in front, but nobody was in the center for the box. Justin
another one
has another touch, but it's taken away by Card. Another long ball and some space for Garrett. Ends up pitching it right back to Tander. Tander headed towards the net. Justin has the save. Card forced back to play this up against the wall. Now trying to get it around Turbo, can't.
And even then, we just saw two back-to-back solo plays from Lowkey, not really looking for a cross-pitch pass, nothing to involve teammates. They're really just going for air dribbles and solid challenges. But against NRG, that's not going to be enough. And Justin, he knows it's not going to be enough. He sinks another.
You have your third man sitting in midfield. Card wants a pass over to Tander, but there's no one else back. That's a risky play. It's a poor touch from Card, and it's a free goal for NRG. Those are mistakes you cannot make in this situation.
So NRG, I mean, they're the team that really punishes the best out of pretty much all of North America. It's why they're so solid. You can see the demos, all the playstyle changes from league play with the new teams coming in. It did not affect them whatsoever.
Ooh, and just missing right there was Garrett G, and it was Lowkey Esports who scored the first goal of the game. And you thought, oh man, are Lowkey really gonna box against NRG? But ever since that first game, it's been all NRG. Here's Justin. Oh, he tees it over one. Card knocks it away. And again, just no possession from Lowkey Esports. They cannot hang on to the ball. It's a good win from Kaio to give him some space, but it's going to be difficult. Opposite side, Tander can't win that challenge. Does block the ball here in NRG's corner.
Oh, there it is.
Good pass shot is saved by Turbo. Hops over across the post. Tander.
The one time Lowkey gets some kind of connection in the midfield, Turbo just gets an outstanding save.
Oh, and a good touch from Turbo to Justin. Turbo popping off today off the back wall for Justin.
Gets it around one. Kaio just trying to run back. on the defensive wall, and look at the disorganization on defense. Lowkey, they're not even expecting those passing plays, and they assume some kind of challenge is going to come out. And NRG are just too good and too quick.
Yeah, Turbo completely killed the ball on the backboard, and it froze the defense on the goal line. Another shot, it bounces off the crossbar. I mean, this is it for Lowkey. You can't let a fourth in.
Yeah.
You still got some time left, but they have to start the clock soon. Turbo back to Justin. Justin off the crossbar. Garrett G following up. It's blocked for now, but straight into the net. Kyle has the save.
I mean, you can see it here. You block one shot from NRG, you've got another, what, 2 coming? The response time. Yeah.
Good carry from Justin. Barely saved by Tander. Card out of boost. Turbo pass to Justin again. It's been Turbo to Justin in game 3. They have been feeling it. Pass, maybe a goal if he can slip it in. No, Kyle just took too long to get that shot on.
And Garrett G even dodged the bump in the net to get that save and still prevent anything out of Lowkey Esports. They have been quiet this whole game.
And this is something NRG has done all season, is they won't always go for the shot. They'll just go for the touches where you can't get them.
Exactly.
As long as they are the ones touching the ball, they're the ones keeping possession, they don't care. And with a 3-goal lead, that's all they need to do with about a minute remaining.
And that's the thing, they don't get too desperate for goals because they know that if they just keep the starvation up, keep the pressure, they're gonna force a mistake out of a team like Lowkey Esports.
Just no boost to work with for Lowkey Esports. Kyle turns around on it quickly, but the patience from Turbo. Knew that Kyle was going to have to spend some time to turn around. He wasn't going to be able to get a quick touch on it. So smart from Turbo. He's playing so well today.
He's just everywhere he needs to be. There is no gaps in this defense of NRG. This could be the LAN activation of Turbo.
And that's what they needed. That's exactly why Turbo joined this team.
Yep.
Already paying dividends in their first series, the World Championship. Boom downfield for Lowkey Esports. Started so favorably for a team that a lot of people, a lot of fans have high hopes for. And so NRG, the hill's just a little too tall to climb right now. Time ticking away.
Oh, another one.
Will pick up a goal, but with 8 seconds left, you're talking miracle territory.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing you can really hope for at this point is just some form of a kickoff goal. Maybe. If we don't see it go Lowkey's way, it's over. The series, NRG, so strong, so confident. And like we talked about, Turbo, the land factor. This could be a glimpse for the rest of the weekend right now.
This looks like the NRG we saw all season. Hang on.
Oh, maybe?
Does he score? No, it's saved by Justin. You thought there might have been a chance.
Saw a little glimmer of hope.
But it is NRG. They will pick up the win against Lowkey Esports and cool the Jets on South America.
But still, Lowkey, I'm definitely proud of how they played.
Watch out
the
for
first
them
2 games,
for
definitely.
Sure.
The first 2 games, you saw it, how close they were. I mean, they went into overtime game 2. It could have gone their way. But yet, I mean, how do you face this NRG squad? So much momentum on them.
In those first 2 games, again, bumps and demos for Lowkey Esports. They were working so well for them. It just seemed like all 3 players were getting involved in some of those plays. There was the quick pass and the bump by Tander to watch the whole team get involved. It was exciting, but then they just couldn't get any boost in game 3. And they never had any time to do anything. NRG smothered them, Turbo.
I mean, if we compare this to the Veloce series, I think out of that 1 series against Veloce, you could easily pick apart a couple of players. You know, Tander, such an outstanding performance. In this, I felt like they were all definitely working well as a unit, but nobody really took that extra step to, you know, outperform and beat mechanical gods like Justin against the other team, because you have to stop him in the midfield.
And I really feel like Turbo and Justin, specifically on the transition, were the difference makers. Justin so many times with those continuing touches from Turbo to keep the ball away from Lowkey Esports, and then Turbo's just in general. He had so many assists out. He scored a couple of goals. I mean, the dude always performs at LAN.
Definitely.
He's never not. And again, the 3-time
that's why
he shows up.
Earlier, that's why I said, I mean, through trial and error, they have figured out really one of their best performing rosters, because Garrett and Justin they're so consistent online. There's no doubt in your head that Justin and Garrett G are fantastic, always consistent. And then you think about Turbo. Whenever he's in a LAN, that's when he becomes you know, a beast himself, and it's kind of like a perfect balance right now for this roster, and that's exactly what we wanted to see from them in this first series.
Well, this match is finished. Let's go back to the desk and get their thoughts.